Halloween, the 2018 edition, is a direct sequel to Halloween from 1978. All of the sequels that were made after Halloween, disregard those, disregard the Rob Zombie movies. Those are retconned. They are no longer in continuity. This is the official sequel to the 1978 Halloween movie. This one takes place 40 years after the events of the original film. Michael Myers has broken out of the insane asylum. Laurie Strode has been planning for 40 years and prepping for his return to Haddonfield. And he returns, and now we have a Halloween movie, and people start dying. This was one of the most anticipated movies of the year for me. I'm not a huge Halloween fan. I've never seen any of the sequels, never seen the Rob Zombie movies. I've only seen the original one. I am going to be reviewing Halloween 2 this year because I reviewed the original one last year. So I'm not a huge fan of the Halloween series, but I've seen bits and pieces, I think, of H2O, maybe like the 5th one or something, on TV. So I'm not a dedicated fan. I feel like if you're a dedicated fan, this movie might be a bit disappointing. For me, it was in a couple of elements, but I really enjoyed this new Halloween. First of all, Jamie Lee Curtis is great. Laurie Strode, I love seeing Laurie Strode back on screen. I want to see where she was 40 years later. She's this ultimate badass. She's like Sarah Connor, you know? It's just like every time she's on screen, you just want her to kick ass, and she does when she's on screen, especially in the end. She really kicks ass when she is on screen. And Michael Myers in this movie. I love Michael Myers in this movie because he is the epitome of all evil. He doesn't care. He'll just kill. He's still that evil force. He is the driving point of all evil. And it's great. I love the first act of this movie, and I love the third act of this movie. Those are undeniably the best parts of this movie. And those were the most fun and entertaining sequences I've ever seen in a horror film. What I really like about the way this movie is filmed is that you see some of the deaths off screen, and then some of the deaths you see Michael Myers commit on screen. It's the implied violence that adds depth to this movie. It's the implied violence that shows just how brutal of a force Michael Myers actually is. And that's what I really like. But even when they're on screen, the kills in this movie, pretty cool actually. Nothing too crazy. Nothing where it was like stupid, you know, but I mean, it was really entertaining to watch. For a horror movie, this is definitely one of the better horror movies now, for flaws with the movie. The second act is a bit of nothing. Nothing really happens in the middle of this movie. It's just a bunch of people talking. There's this school dance with Laurie Strode's granddaughter, you know, that's not as prominent as people have made it out to be. But I was just like, can we just get back to the Michael Myers stuff? Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for Michael Myers. I'm not here for school dance, and just kind of drag the movie down. And with that, the pacing is a bit off in the second act. The scenes don't really flow well together, I don't think, in the second act. There's some random scenes in here that don't have to be in here. And the final moments of the second act commit something that I thought was unexpected, and I thought was completely unnecessary. I thought it was really bad. Luckily, the movie didn't stick with that, but had it stuck with that, my opinions of this movie might have been different. But there was a little twist there, where I was just like, are you kidding me right now? I was literally frustrated, and like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this series, but it was that little twist where I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This just went from a really fun movie to a really bad movie. Luckily, it doesn't stick with that. That instance, I was just like, you can't do, like, why are you doing this? Other than that, the humor really works really well in this film. There's this little kid in here, he's like the funniest little kid ever. Like, I just want to hang out with that kid. He's awesome. The final act of this movie is so riveting. It is so nerve-wracking. It's a really intense game of cat and mouse. It's what I wanted from a Halloween movie set 40 years after the first one. It makes perfect sense. And with that, it's just so satisfying in its conclusion. Guys, I really dug this new Halloween. Stuff in the middle, did not really like. But the first act, the third act, still really, really great. Even in the middle where the pacing is kind of messed up and there's that twist that luckily it doesn't go anywhere. and it's just thrown out the window right there. And a couple unnecessary scenes that kind of drag the pacing down, and it's just kind of boring for a little bit. Even then, it's still watchable. I don't think it's as good as people are going to make it out to be, but I really did enjoy Halloween. I guess 2018 is what we're going to call this one. I'm going to give Halloween 2018 a B. Yeah, definitely check this one out. I can't wait to check out Halloween 2 now to see which of these three I like better. I'm not checking out Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Fuck that shit. Guys, thank you for checking out my review of Halloween. I will leave my link to my website there. You can find my links to my social media accounts. I will have some more reviews of horror movies coming your way. Scream, which I actually filmed before this review. Probably be up after this review. So, just so you know, Scream is coming. I am reviewing Scream. That'll be up soon. Few more. Thank you for watching. You guys are the best.